What's good, people? In this week's episode of Things I Have a Problem With, I'm going to talk about something that's probably sitting right outside your house. And that something is cars. Let's talk about it. People, let me give a disclaimer at the start of this here video. I love cars. Cars are cool. I grew up watching Too Fast, Too Furious. I grew up watching old behind movies like Smokey and the Bandit and Knight Rider, for example. I love cars. But just because you love something doesn't mean you find it perfect. You know what I'm saying? And if you're wondering what my dream car is, well, it's one of these. But let me get back to the topic at hand, which is the things I have a problem with when it comes to cars. Well, I say cars. I should say car manufacturing companies, but let me get to the point here. Why is it that you car companies have to bring back legendary cars as trash? When I say trash, I mean something that bears no resemblance or has none of the soul as the car that came before it. Case in point, Mitsubishi, why the hell do we have a crossover SUV named Eclipse? Clearly, coupe, SUV crossover. Huh? How does that make any sense? How? But okay, I hear you. We all know about the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Okay, cool. So, like you just see, my favorite car is a Corvette, ZR1, Generation 6 to be exact. But there is a car that was its cousin, so to say. Named the Camaro. As we all know, the Camaro stopped production recently. I say recently, like freaking the last 5 years, whatever. As far as we know, Chevy is not bringing that back. And upon doing some research here, GM pulls the plug on next-gen Chevy Camaro. For now. It was going to be a 4-door high-horsepower car. I don't think a Camaro is ever 4 doors. My thing, car companies, if you have a good formula, why change it? Why? I mean, the government is a thing. You gotta abide by laws and regulations and all that other good stuff, but at least try your best. I mean, think about it. Dodge is still in production with a 5.7 and a Hellcat engine. Ford's still making a V8 Mustang, even though it... But you get the point, though, right? Now, am I saying keep the V8 alive? Yes, right? But what I'm more concerned about is why are car companies not selling manuals as they used to? Now, I never had the pleasure of riding and or driving one of these, but we gotta talk about a vehicle made by Ford. People, that was a 4-cylinder turbo Ford Focus ST. That thing sounded good, didn't it? My point is this though. Why won't Ford bring that back? I mean, a 4-cylinder is not that hard to make in car company terms because it's fuel efficient and it's also emissions compliant as well. I mean, ain't that the whole point of people not making V8s anymore? Because emissions and regulations? I get it. A change in political leadership may change all that. I get it. But, dog, people want the damn Ford Focus ST, and I see why. But, Ford, don't you dare. Man, why? Why? I just shown you all how fun and how great the Focus ST sounded. Why the hell do you want to take away the soul and the sound and make it an EV? Does every damn thing gotta be an EV? Everything. I miss the days when electric vehicles were hybrids, like the BMW i8. That car that looks great to this day. I mean, look at it, dog. Doesn't it look like it belongs to 2024? But anyway, that's the first problem I have with car companies, or with cars, I should say. They want to bring back everything as either a shadow of its former self or as an EV. Just stick to what made y'all money in the first place. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. I thought that concept was simple to understand, but apparently it's not. Anyway, people, here's my second problem with cars, if not car manufacturers. Gaming. Let me explain what I mean. A game studio has to pay the car company to license their cars to put the cars in the game. Okay, studio pays car company says yes, use this car in this game. Cool, I get it, but I disagree with it. I disagree with it completely. Car companies, if you ever end up watching this video, let me tell you something. A game, if you have your car in a video game, that is the best kind of marketing you can ever have. I mean, you already know about it with movies. You know, Smokey and the Bandit. You have Knight Rider. And don't get me started on a movie called The Last Stand, which featured the Corvette ZR1, the car that I want to have one day, right? That entire movie is one great big 2009 Corvette ZR1 commercial. Basically a Corvette reveal, just in movie form. Cool. But, if anything, y'all should be paying the studios to have y'all car in the game because the studios is making money from people, but in turn, y'all are getting exposure for your car. I mean, the BMW M3 GTR E46. Like, bruh, that Need for Speed Most Wanted would not be the game that it is without that car. People see that car and they automatically think Need for Speed. It's a hand-in-hand partnership. I don't get it. I sincerely don't. But, hey, maybe I don't know, or I don't know because I'm not up there shaking hands in corporate America. I don't get it, but I just think it's backwards. To me, video games are the best kind of commercials you can ever have because they're always running. Think about it. If you're, okay, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Challenge Series, the Burger King Challenge. Remember that challenge where you had to drive from point A to point B, but point A and point B both were a Burger King restaurant? How much do you think Burger King paid to get Need for Speed? How much do you think? I mean, I don't know, but that's the point. Dog, whenever a child will play that game, how much do you want to bet? 1 out of maybe 1,000 said, you know what, I want some Burger King now. Because it's in the damn game. 2006, Need for Speed Carbon. I unlocked the Corvette Z06, and I said, oh my gosh, this car is perfect. It could go fast, it could stop fast, it could drift, it had high top speed. I fell in love with the car. And guess what? Since that game, I've always wanted a Corvette. It's literally free advertising. Well, not literally. Well, yeah, it is literally free because I had to pay for Need for Speed Carbon, right? But I don't know. It to me it's just backwards. If you want your car in the game, you pay the game studio to open the gate and you insert your car into the game. Done. That's just how I see it. But hey, I'm just a civilian out here making ends meet week to week. You know, I'm not up there in a suit test driving cars for my job. I don't do that. I wish I did, but I don't. So that's my second problem with cars, not car companies. The whole licensing thing. You know, I mean, The Crew, for example, it got shut down because of licenses. If licenses did not exist, then that game would still be here and we would still be enjoying it to this day. But we don't. Unless someone decides to make it single player and offline, which will be hella great. You know. But people, I think I'm going to stop my little rant right there. And as always, let me know if you want a part 2 in the comment section. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.